After April 28th, New Democrats had to deal with a new political reality in Parliament. And as we review the year that has passed and as we come to the close of the fall session of this Parliament, I think it's fair to say that the New Democrats have shown that we are relevant, strong, united, and a very important voice in the House of Commons. Donald Trump's trade war has created economic uncertainty to the point where I think it's fair to say that we have a crisis in this country that has affected all walks of life. It's affected people in every corner of our country, and Canadians are worried about everything from the cost of groceries to whether they have an affordable place to live to whether or not they're going to have a job next year. And New Democrats set out, starting last May, to make sure that the voice of working people was expressed loudly and clearly in the House of Commons. And I think we have succeeded in doing that. We are the only party who consistently and reliably brings the dreams, the aspirations, the experiences, and the realities of working families to the halls of power in Ottawa. I'll give you a couple of examples of the impact that we've had this session. Millions of Canadian children will ultimately have access to a school nutrition program because the work that we did ended up forcing this government to make that program permanent. 6 million Canadians now get access to dental care because of the work that we did last Parliament and the pressure that we have continued to put on this government to not halt or reverse that gain. Finally, we're the only party that has consistently stuck up for the rights of workers to free collectively bargain. When workers face a crisis in the economy, one of the few powers they have is the power to join a union and to fight for better wages and working conditions in their places of work through organized labor. And we sat and watched the Liberals repeatedly trample that right by invoking Section 107 to order striking workers back to work, whether it's flight attendants at Air Canada or Canada Post employees or workers on the ports or the rails of this country. And the New Democrats were the only party that ever stood up in the House and fought against those anti-labor positions. Certainly the Conservatives didn't. So as we reflect on 2025, I can tell you that we have a caucus that is united, strong, working cohesively, and I think that we can justly take some pride in the fact that I think our voice is relevant, strong, and needed more than ever in this country. And we are we look forward to 2026 with a lot of enthusiasm as we continue to rebuild our party, to grow. And of course, we'll end up having an exciting leadership race that will happen in the first 3 months of 2026. And I look very forward to continuing this rebuild of what I think is a very important Canadian institution, the New Democratic Party of Canada. Finally, I'll just say, if I heard one thing consistently in 2025, it's that Canadians do not want a US-style two-party system. One of the strengths of Canadian democracy is that we have a range of choices, a diversity of perspectives, and that makes our governance stronger. And so I look forward to continuing our work to make sure that the New Democratic Party of Canada remains and continues to be a strong voice in Parliament and across our country. Thanks. I look forward to any questions you might have.